right, everyone. Welcome back to the Hot Takes podcast, where we are always humble, open, and transparent. I am excited today because I have two strong young community leaders that we're about to have a conversation about life and the pursuit of happiness and what all that means and what all that looks like. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and then we'll get rolling. So Rashad, start us off. Who are you? Where are you from? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, so my name is Rashad Roundtree. From Augusta, Georgia, born and raised 706, And currently, I just graduated from the University of Georgia. I played football there for 3.5 years, and just graduated from there. Now, currently working at Growing Leaders, great nonprofit down located in Atlanta.
All right, my guy Shingi, go ahead, man.
Welcome. My name is Shingirai Chigwere, and I was actually born in Zimbabwe, which is in Africa. And I am currently a student at Kennesaw State University studying psychology with a minor in computer science. I work at Growing Leaders, and I aspire to work somewhere as a leader in the technology field, and really just hope to revamp it and bring leadership into technology.
Nice. So we live in a ever changing world, gentlemen, and you both support and work for an organization who is looking to connect the dots for our youth coming up as it pertains to habits and attitudes in our communities. And as young professionals, as you're looking to carve your niche out and live as living legends and create legacy, how have you been processing the world right now? Any one of y'all could take it.
Go ahead, Shingy.
So for me, I won't lie, Lawrence. It's been a lot, truthfully. I know we've had conversations before, and I've just realized for me, I enjoy being vulnerable because it allows me to truly express how I'm feeling. And at first, it was a lot for me. It's tough to see all the things that are going on, and what's worse to see some of the responses from some people. But how I've been able to really deal with it is just really turning to God for myself and just really relying on him and seeing that through all things he has a plan. And sometimes I may not be able to see what the plan is. I may not understand it, but just truly trusting and having a childlike faith within him. And ever since I've truly done that and truly just immersed myself in what I do daily and focusing on my daily goals, it's been able to help me cope and deal with the things going on, especially as a young professional, like you said, just trying to establish myself and get to that place where I really feel like I can make a difference. So that's how it's been for me.
Yeah, for me, I think I'll describe this time for me as been a big transition period. I feel like a lot of transitions are happening with me personally, and then with the effects of the world today, that's kind of thrown a spanner in the works. But really, just been trying to handle everything with a level head. Trying to think before reacting, trying to really set myself up for the best success for me. So just trying to figure out what that looks like. Whether that's from how I start to how I finish every aspect. Again, I know that this time right here, probably the next year, 2 years of my life is going to be major keys and major factors that's going to establish where I want to go in life. So really trying to focus on what I want to do right now and make the best decision.
Man, that's huge. I mean, both y'all hit on things, and I put it plainly. Nobody's really set up to stand in the gap as it pertains to our emotions, the way we feel, and again, this landscape that a lot of us, maybe we had our heads in the sand, and maybe even adults that are experienced are like, yeah, I think we're past where we currently are with social justice and different things like that. But as you young gentlemen you're now. You're not the future. You're now. And how you all are being resilient in the collective resiliency that you all have been displaying in your current jobs, and even your aspirations of what you want to be for corporate America or your own organizations, is one thing to be commended. And I would ask for people, when they ask our next generation, right, our generation now, what are some things you lean on personally to build that resilience in your daily lives?
So I know the biggest thing for me that I have to remind myself every day, even this morning I even wrote it out, is just what is my purpose? And what is my life purpose? What is my purpose in life? And what do I want to accomplish so that one day I can look back and say, hey, I've done the things that I wanted to do. I've taken care of the people that I wanted to take care of, and I've made the impact that I set out to from the get-go. And constantly having my purpose not only written out, but in front of me every single day really just helps me stay in line daily when, there's so much going on in the world. It just helps remember, like, hey, what are you supposed to accomplish today, regardless of what happens today? Get that done, and every single day build the habits to complete your purpose and what you want and what you set out to do.
Yeah, for me, I would say, really just trying to, find my goal and trying to, find my why, like kind of like Shingy said, and just kind of attack that, just really, personally, I was trying to focus on where I want to go and my goals, and I know that I have to work hard to get there. So, every day is more of a, what am I doing to get to my goal? Like, have I been productive today? Have I done steps to get to my goal? Have I taken a step back? Is really evaluating what I'm doing on a daily to compare myself, like, how am I getting to these goals? How am I, trying to strive to get there? Because that's where I want to be at the end of the day. And I know it's not it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So it's really just, make sure, you pace your steps, make sure, you're getting your steps in and things like that, because eventually they're going to come.
I love that. And it's very, it's very t-shirt material esque, when you say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? We all aspire to believe that's truth, but let's be honest. I want stuff to happen. I want stuff to happen today, tomorrow, next week, but I want it to happen like in a big way every single time. Like, because I think when you start talking about purpose, right, you sign up for something. Like, purpose is a life work. It's not just a right now work. And for you all to be in that frame of mind, like, how do you stay there? Right. Like, cause again, I'm 40 and I know what I'm supposed to be and do in life. And I'm ticked off when other people know what I'm supposed to be and do in life. And they don't reciprocate with the acknowledgement, with the engagement at the level in which I know I could help support them. So how do y'all stay grounded? Because I'm be honest, like when I was 24, 20, I was wide open. I was wide open. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I want it now. Like, like give me my shot now. How do y'all stay focused on keeping the main thing the main thing?
Yeah, for me, I think it's more me. I just put my head down. I'm really running with my head down. Not trying to focus on all the distractions out there, not trying to focus on anybody except what I have going, and really me. I know it sounds really narcissistic, but I know at this point in time, you have to be that type of thing. You have to. So it's really just running with your head down. I'm not cut out most of the distractions in my life. I'm trying to really live more of a simple life. Just know what I have to do and how to do that. That's really it. Anything that's distracting me, anything that's hindering me, I'm really just cutting that out of my life, because I know like this time is so important. So uh, even though it's a marathon, we're running kind of fast. It's certain. We're probably going downhill on this part, but we still
I love
got
it.
our head down. It's really just not about focusing on where I'm trying to get. So I mean, it's always that's the goal, but it's really I know where I'm trying to get. That's already set in stone. So let's put that aside and let's focus on the next steps ahead.
And to even continue on with what Rashad just said, I kind of like place guardrails on my life, and having those guardrails on my life allows me to see, hey, are you being distracted? Is that even a distraction, or is that just something you want to do? Because once you are able to see those things, it helps you, for me at least, it helps me stay in line within those boundaries that I set for myself. And so, whether for me, I have accountability partners. Rashad's actually one of my accountability partners. We call each other probably once a week just to say, "How you doing, man? Are you doing what you said? What you set out to do? You told me last week you wanted to do this. Have you done it?" And I've seen that in this past year, just having simple accountability. Like I said, writing out the things I want to see every single day. And I do that at the beginning of the week. I write out, "Hey, these are the things that you're supposed to do daily." because if you do these things daily, set these habits now, when it comes time to when things really start going, like you said, because sometimes there's slow times and then there's other times when I think life just moves really fast. I think if you prepare yourself every single day with habits and attitudes, it helps you for those times that things are going really fast. And I've also come to realize that from just people I've talked to who are older and wiser than me, that sometimes the best things don't come fast. The best things come slow and they come with time. Because in those moments you can really not only understand what you're doing, but you can truly immerse yourself. Because I think we live in a world where everything is so fast. I think people want things done now, now, now. But sometimes now isn't really it may not be the best option. It might be better to take your time and truly go about the process. And so that's one thing that truly helps me every single day.
I love that, man. And again, I jest, but again, young me, man, wanted it. And I think about, as you both talk about, guardrails, and you all talk about, again, just the process of the marathon, is one thing that I've come to love about the process is it's like that the illustration of a plant. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree or the plant is when it finally sprouts out of the dirt. And it has to grow down first before it grows up. And again, it's the establishment of those roots on solid foundations and principles, those habits, those attitudes, that if you don't know what you stand for, then you'll fall for anything. And I think the time that you all are taking, and again, if I would have known how important true accountability was early on in my life, I probably would have been a whole lot better off. And I had 2 or 3 solid military buddies that we still talk to this day. But as it pertains to, okay, what's your why, right? And keeping us focused on the goals of what do we want, right? When it's all said and done and we're sitting down, wherever we're at, having a beer, whatever it is, will we be where we thought we would be in accordance with the plan and the purpose that we feel like God put us on this earth to do and be? And so when you think about 5-year older you, what is 5-year older you doing?
Go ahead, Shingy. That way I can get time to think about it.
Okay, that's a great question. I think for me, the 5-year older me, let's see, I'm 23 now, so about 28. So it's a little, I'm still young. See, I think for me, like that's still young, but I see what you're saying. 5-year older me, I want to be, at least I know I want to be in a leadership position. Like I said, I really want to get in the technology field because I know technology is the future, and so I aspire to be in a leadership role there. Also aspire to be doing some sort of speaking on the side or a mentorship program, because I've seen how simply just having different voices and different mentors in my life has been very impactful. My parents' voices were very strong in my life, but sometimes as kids, we all know this. We don't want to listen to our parents, and sometimes it just takes someone else in your life to come and care for you. Be like, no, listen, or do what they're telling you. So I truly aspire to hope to just be in some sort of mentorship program and speaking on the side. And one of the things I've been thinking about lately is building like a true leadership platform or app of my own. I know there's many out there, but just trying to see maybe how I can make mine different, how I can make mine unique. And with that is also just being able to be established. Simple things such as no debt. I don't want to have debt because I think that limits your opportunity to grow. And then hopefully just be settled down somewhere and be in a career, not really more or less a job, but in a career that I know I can at least move forward with it or expand upon it. As far as every other aspect, I'm not sure. I know one thing I will say is I do want to have a deep relationship with God. That's one of the things, like I said, I'm going that right now, and I've just seen how in my life I can't do anything without God, or life gets real difficult without Him. So I've really been working to set that foundation, like I said, daily, and that is one thing I have to make sure that in 5 years, regardless where I am, I have God in my life.
Yeah, I'm not sure what 5-year older me would look like. I think about it often, but I think like even I've changed so much over the last 2 years, and then the last 2 years before that, and like I think I probably did a whole figure eight of what I thought I was going to be doing. So 5 years is a long time. I think my 5-year goals are more it's more it's more psychological. Like I really want to be mentally strong. Like 5 years. Like I want to be bringing people with me, if that makes sense. Like 5 years, me, I think of a strong, young-minded, hopefully still handsome adult. That's like Shingi said, building a team, leading, like bringing people, having followers, maybe that's speaking, maybe that's leading a team. Who knows what that looks like? But really, somebody who's like mentally strong. I think that's very like well respected in my eyes. So somebody that can people that can look up to, even young, even like this dude's 28. You like can't believe it. That's who I want to be. I know I just want to be somebody. I don't think I have it all figured out yet. Even in my plan, I know 5 years is still half. Probably my plan, but I know in 5 years, hopefully, I've taken tremendous strides to get to where I want to be. But I want to be like mentally strong. I want to be like 28 years old. Like I may not have it all, but I have it figured out. I think that's where I want to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell both of y'all at 28, you ain't gonna have it figured out. You might, and I
Sounds
think
good.
it sounds good and briefs well, right? And it looks good on paper, but I would tell you, you can be established in the goal of life, right? And I think both of you have some very unique thoughts around what that looks like for you. And I love the mental toughness and resiliency of it, because I think you all as leaders of today, right? You're 23 years old, but there's a movement happening in our communities and in our world, and they're looking for talent. They're looking for leaders who are established in their identity, and that's the platform in which a 28-year-old version of yourself, I think as I was a 28, 29-year-old officer in the military, that was that middle grade for me where I was really coming into my own. Those are those ages where you're supposed to be at peak physical fitness, right? That's like the peak season for most pro athletes, is that age group right there. And so mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, physically, you should be at the top of your game in that zone. And so for you, I think, say in the next 5 years, swing for the fences. Like swing for the fences. Like there is nothing off the table. There is no dumb thing idea whatsoever. And I even say I'm 40. I got at least another 40 years to do whatever I want to do. So I'm swinging for the fences right now. I'm at bat, right? I walked away from a corporate job where I was making pretty decent money, but it was like, I'm not in full-time purpose. So I gotta see what this looks like. And to think, if I would have did that at 28, to be like, man, I'm in full-time purpose. And to have that mindset, I would tell y'all, as somebody that has seen it, that has done it, keep that at the forefront of your mind, and your values and what you value, let that lead your decisions, right? Don't ever let your bills, don't ever let your feelings, don't ever let that stuff lead the way you decide to do life. Because when you go down that road of, I got to get that dollar, right? Y'all heard of Maslow's hierarchy of need, right? Basic stuff. Level 1, food, water, shelter, all as level 1 stuff. You know what I mean? People live at level 1 and never move out of level 1 because they're going paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, and they never begin to even work towards self-actualization. The earlier that y'all could get to see what that looks like for yourself. Now think about this as a lifestyle, only leveling up at self-actualization, because you've established such a solid foundation. Your roots are so strong that every move you make moving forward is just you leveling up like big time, like purpose, more purpose, more purpose. God, what else? God, what else? Right? Like think about a lifestyle like that where you like, all right, let's do it. Right. And I think that's where I'm at now. Where I'm like, God, what else? You want me to go back to school, get a PhD? Cool, let's do it. And that's the world I believe we all aspire to live in. But I think y'all could do it now. I think y'all could do it right now, today. Y'all could do it. So when you start talking about, and I heard Shingi, you brought it up a couple times and you threw it out there, Rashad, habits and attitudes. When we talk about what it means to develop good habits and have the right attitude, why are those things important?
Go ahead, Shingy.
Thank you. For me, I think I said it. I like you said, I said it quite a bit because I've just seen how I want to get to the point where my values and my principles and how I live life are just so a part of me that I don't have to like even consciously think about it. Something simple is just taking care of yourself. Like I want to I just want to eat healthy. I don't want to have to be like, oh, you need to eat healthy or you need to work out. And I've seen how when you can make those value judgments and principles just part of who you are, it leaves your mind room to make decisions and grow in other areas, like you said, to that level of self-actualization, because you're not worried about, am I healthy, am I feeling well? Like those things are already taken out off your plate. So it really just leaves you time to focus on what you need to do. And I've seen how slowly but surely establishing those habits now will ultimately help me not only incorporate them later on in life, but it just helps me, like you said, start early. Like I don't need to wait till I'm older to start establishing them. I can start them now and even make that transition process easy, because I won't have to try to change myself or to be part of who I am. Whether, like I said, it's about my principles, my values, how I make decisions. I want to get to a point where I don't have to think about that. It's just a part of who Shingi is. And not only do I go out and tell people to do it, I embody it. I actually do it myself, because I think if I'm not embodying it, then how can I expect other people to do it as well? So that's why I think it's very key to establish key habits and attitudes.
Yeah, I think this is why Shingi are friends, because we think very similar along the same lines, but we have such a different perspective on things, and it just goes well. And I mean, exactly what he's saying is true. Like it frees your minds up, and I think it takes us back to like that sports background. Why do you practice so hard? Why do you train so hard? Why? Because it becomes second nature, so you don't have to think about certain things. If you have these strong habits and this strong attitude, you don't have to think consciously of what you're going to say, what you're going to do. It's already going to be in your mind. It frees your mind up to do so many other things, to think about something, to give back. And it's the same way like with playing sports. You don't think about those things. It just comes second nature. So even having, it takes 21 days to form a habit, and your mindset, that's a muscle that you can train, that you can form. And, it's the most powerful muscle in your body. Why not start with that? Like, why not start with that? So even when she is saying like a person with a strong attitude, you can't break that. There's nothing you can do to break a person with a strong attitude. You add this habits on, and on top of that, I mean, the opportunities, the doors are endless. And I think that's how like Shing and I, we think so alike, because we know that if you start right here with these roots, these fundamental things, that everything else becomes easy. It becomes second nature. Like I don't have to prepare for that, because I've already been doing that my whole life. It's already built in me. It's ingrained in me. I don't have to take two steps back. I don't have to go back for this. Like you said, it's like, what else, God? What's next? I got that. I had that one in my back pocket waiting for this moment. So I think that's what, why we're both, so passionate about things like this.
Love it. I love it. Yeah. And it's so mindset is one of the things that I think in this season of life, why a lot of people are experiencing deeper levels of trauma, right? Because and I'll speak for myself. When the stuff first happened with George Floyd, everything that I had locked in the vault in my brain that had ever happened to me up until that moment came rushing back at me at the same time, right? Every single thing, all the years of my life as an adult, young Black man in America, all the incidents, all the times I got pulled over, all the interactions with cops, like all of that rushed back to me. And when, people do the check-in and how are you? The immediate answer, I'm good. I'm fine. But I wasn't. And I think if I hadn't done the mental resilience work, if I hadn't established my foundation on the values that I wanted to lead my life, I think I would have been even worse off than a lot of people. Because some people, again, it's a trauma that happens to a lot of us. And I think, and the way that you all have processed during this season, it's a testament to your coaches. It's a testament to your mentors and to your parents to have helped you get to this point to where you can process what's happening in the world, but it still not knock you off your mark. And I think that that takes a lot of mental strength that a lot of people are going to be leaning on you young men for. And I know that's organizations call me now looking for, can you help us with this thing called resiliency? Can you help us with this thing called discipline in our workforce with amongst our leaders? Because the one thing that hurts my heart when an organization calls or a leader calls and they say, I don't know what to do. Like, what are your values? Let's start there. What are your values? Okay. Lead, live through your values. Start there, right? And I think the practice of you all and that you're already saying that as a lifestyle makes things that I've said in training, it warms my heart. Where I'd say this is just what we do. It's not a box we check, right? This is just the way we do things here. This is the way we live life here. Like we lead and love through our values. Like we love our values. We live our values every day. That's what we do. And I think what it does for me and what I've noticed, and I appreciate you gentlemen for being honest, because this podcast is going to do what it's going to do, and it's going to help people either introduce themselves to you or they're going to stay away from you, which that's what you want. If it causes people to stay away from you, great. It did its job. My values did its job. My message did its job. It filtered people for me. And I think that's the place that I live in now. So if you had one nugget of life up to this point that you could give to a mentee, what's that one nugget you would hand to a mentee?
Shingirai.
Well, Lawrence, I also just want to point back to something you just said before I answer that question. You're talking about sometimes what you do can either bring people towards you or they separate you. And I know me and Rashad say this all the time is it's about having a standard. You know, we always say this, like, dude, we have this standard, and if you're not going to meet it, like, it's okay, but don't come here. Don't be a part of this, because here we're trying to get to this level, and if you're not going to give this level of effort, if you're not going to be here, then it's okay. It's not we don't like you. It's nothing against you. It's just we know what we're looking for, and we know even ourselves. We know we need to put ourselves at a higher level. So I guess the one advice I'll give to a mentee is surround yourself with the right people. You are the product of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. And I've seen how in life, in times when I wasn't surrounded by, like, let's just say 5 good people, it's not my life took a turn, but I wasn't doing the things that I want to do in life. But as soon as I surrounded myself with 5 people who are, like I said, on the same page as me, who wanted the same thing, who were striving for the same goals, it became easy, because when I was around them now, I wasn't having to think. We were just all thinking about the same thing, like, okay, how you doing? Are you doing better? And so whether that be mentors, whether that be friends, whether that can just be like just peers, just the people you surround yourself with is the most important thing, because it will determine where you go in life. So that is definitely the one thing. I have a little brother. I always tell my little brother, be careful who your friends are, because they will take you in life where you all are headed, not just where you want to go, because it's a group thing.
Yeah, thanks, Shingi. I knew I should have went first. I was trying to be polite, but honestly, that's what kind of resonated for me in this conversation as well. Is just like, you have to find those people that push you to be better, and it looks different for everybody, and that's what people don't understand. It depends on where you come from, or what you've been exposed to, or how that is. Whether that's somebody who's touching and caring, that's lifting you up, that's somebody that's always pushing you. Like I always tell Shingi, I was like, man, don't talk to me like, my friend, you're trying to help me. Like, push me, because I know everybody else is going to give me that fluff, that good stuff. I don't need to hear that. I'm like, tell me really how it is. And I try to do the same thing for him. I'm like, let me know when I'm complaining too much, let me know when I'm just talking, when I'm not showing my values, because if you're not going to hold me to that standard, you're not going to hold me accountable, then who is? It's like, it's that brotherhood. You trusting him to do that because y'all both want to see each other succeed. So I really want to hit on that point. Another point I would say for another mentee, I was, especially in this time right now, I would say, man, I would say keep grinding. And however that looks like for you, whether that's pushing forward, whether that's working towards your goal, whether that's, even enduring some pain and suffering that's going on right now, just know that it's going to get better. I would say that. Everything doesn't happen overnight. You know, you have to, it's a process. You have to enjoy that grind. You have to enjoy the grind. You can't say it anymore. Like, even when AI says like practice, 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 you know, y'all talking about practice, but that's all it's about, because you do the hard work and practice, it's going to transfer to the game. And it's the same thing in life. It's the same thing. If you do the hard work, you know, praying, if you stick to your values, you be a good person, then all these other things, they're going to come. It's going to be easy. So when your opportunity comes, you know, you're going to be ready for it. And that's the thing I probably, you know, been working on myself, is I'm stay grinding, because I know my opportunity is coming. It's just, am I going to be ready for it? And I'm not going to let another opportunity come to me and I'm not ready for it. And that's what I'm saying, is just keep grinding, keep staying down, you know, have those people that you find accountable. But when that opportunity comes, you know, I'm, like you said, we're going to swing for the fences. I'm going to give it everything I got, because I know that's what I prepared for. That's what I trained for. I know that's what my people push me for. So I have no other choice.
That's what I'm talking about. You either winning or you learning how to win. That's what this is all about. It's the reps. You got to get your reps. And I love when people bring up Allen Iverson, because in that moment, Allen Iverson was a pro athlete at that point. So don't discount the thousands of hours of practice that he had up until that moment, right? He wasn't saying that in high school. He wasn't saying that in college. He was saying that after a already MVP career in the NBA. And so when you got to ask that dumb question, he was AI. Reebok tennis shoe wearing AI. Like, he got 20,000 plus hours on a basketball court, dribbling, lifting, running, all of that up to that point. So the reps was there. It was muscle memory at that point to him, where he could go drop 40 on you and then go to sleep that night. Like, that's the kind of person it is. And I think for us, I think when people say grinding, right? Because again, I think grinding is like the word leadership. It's been overused and it's turned into a t-shirt slogan. But what people really need to do is you need to be willing to sign up for the reps. You got to be willing to sign up to put the work in. And I think both of y'all described that so well today. And if you're out there, again, you're who you surround yourself with and how they push you. I got a new connection of mine, Ginger Johnson, who said it like this, because I used to say, I want collaboration, not competition. But she was like, why can't you have both and call it cooperation? She was like, we can collaborate, we can cooperate together, but I need somebody that's going to make me want to do better. I don't just need somebody that's just going to collaborate with me at the level that I'm already at. I can't grow. I can't grow around that type of person. Now, if I got somebody who's in the game and they like, yo, you need to get your weight up, because that's the only way you're going to be able to stay around me. That's the kind of circle I want. That everybody in the circle is like, I ain't about to be the weakest link. We going to ride. And so as long as your audience in your circle, and Chingy said 5, man, I got to get my weight up. I only got like 3. So so Rashad, you gotta get your weight up too. We gotta catch up to Shingi, man. So I gotta get some mentors. Shout out to any mentors. If you want to mentor me, I'm available. I'm taking applications, and anything else like that. But gentlemen, I appreciate y'all showing up with me today, laying it down, dropping your vocals and your skin so soft, lotion. So for the video. I appreciate that. But how can people link up with you all on social media? Where can they find you?
Yeah, for me, you can find me on really everything. For this, professional circumstances, I would say my LinkedIn, which is just my name, Rashad Roundtree. I'm also on Instagram at they call me tree _. Very simple. Roundtree's my last name, football thing. That's pretty much it for me, Shingi.
I know for me, you can truly reach me on my LinkedIn profile. Like Rashad said, it's just my name, Shingirai Chigwere, and I'll spell that because it's a little complicated. SHINGIRAICHIGWERE, and then also you can reach me on my Instagram at the Shingi.
I would say stay tuned. Coming soon. Shingi and I have some things in the works, so
nice.
We're gonna make it a little bit easier for us for y'all to find us, because
definitely,
we're
yeah,
near you.
So as y'all, hey, if y'all want to come on again, man, just let me know. The topic, and we could drop some vocals, drop some video again. But it was an absolute pleasure to have y'all gentlemen on today. So I definitely appreciate y'all sharing your time with me.